Good day, YouTubers. Reloading Bench back with you once again, doing not reloading stuff. Well, in between reloading videos, which probably haven't been published yet. But as I collect new and interesting things for hobbies, potentially, I'll call them garage hobbies. That's about right, because reloading is one of my garage hobbies, and so is refurbishing old tools, as you have seen as of late. What you haven't seen and what I won't share is the 10-inch Craftsman drill with a drill press with a laser tack system that I just picked up last week and spent the nights refurbishing and making it look newish. Nothing real exciting there. It was in great condition, except it had been spray painted. So I removed the spray paint to bring it back to its original luster. And in between, I had found this online. And I thought this was kind of cool. And as you've seen as of late, again, I'll say that I'm picking up all these old accessories that are no longer made for either the radial saw or the table saw. And what this is, this particular person was getting rid of a package deal. And what was cool about the package deal is for the cost of the whole package, this is what people are selling this set of sandpaper, 10-inch package of 10-inch diameter sanding discs, 6 of them, 2 fine, 2 medium, 2 coarse. And he had 2 packs, and this is an open pack because 2 of the discs, or 1 of the discs, is on this plate. So the idea being, just like with any other, disc sander, you attach the sanding material, media, to the disc sander, and then off you go. Only difference being this is for the radial arm saw or the table saw. Not that I would use the table saw as a sander, but I thought it was kind of a novelty for the radial arm saw because the table and the working space. And again, this stuff isn't made anymore. And I don't know what year this was made, but I'm going to say somewhere in the 90s, because that's when my radial arm saw was produced, and I think I'll say that was at the height of their popularity. But this is, it looks like it's about 1/8 of an inch thick. I should get some calipers, and I mean, it's solid plate, steel, but it's rusty. So I will probably tack this video along the ass end of some of the stuff. You can see the cement there. So what I'll probably do is take this off, dunk it in my favorite. Here's my little, do I have something in there? Yes, I do. I have something in my Evappo-Rust that I've totally forgotten about. So I have to stick a magnet in there, see what that is. But I will put this in a bath of Evappo-Rust once I peel off the paper and bring this back to life. Probably sand it down and, actually, I don't know. I'm just going to start with Evappo-Rust. But I thought that was kind of cool. A 10-inch sanding disc wheel for your for use with table saws and radial saws with a 5/8 inch arbor, which is what I've got. So again, the cool factor of this old stuff that they don't make anymore is kind of what does it for me. It's stepping back in time and reliving a bygone piece of history with tools that by today's standards are too dangerous for the current generation of folk to deal with, because they'd be cutting off their fingers and digits and stuff like that. But I think I'll show a quickie finish once it's been soaked in Evappo-Rust to see what this actually looks like. But these wheels, these discs rather, are not adhesive based. So unlike today where there would be a little peel 'em, stick 'em, they'd have to pick up something like some 3M adhesive spray, because it says use disc cement, sold separately of course, to attach backup pad, to attach 2 backup pads. So I guess this is what's called the backup pad, even though it's called the sanding wheel. But yeah, you can see the cement as it doesn't want to pull off. So I'm gonna try and pull that off, potentially save this disc. This one not so much. And I think this is the missing disc, the 6th of the 5 that are in there. So it looks like that one. But we'll see how that cleans up. All right, that was relatively quick. Maybe not even 5 minutes on each side. The heat gun and a wedge, which looks like it needs to be cleaned because it's full of gunk, is your best friend. This is cool. So this side had this adhesive wrapping, whatever, that is just yucky, yucky, yucky. It's like, okay, we're gonna leave that there. But what I thought was cool is, look at how beautiful that looks. That's heavy duty. But what struck me, and I'll show you the other one as well, something you just don't see too often anymore. Pride in Made in America. It doesn't exist anymore. This might be worth I'll see if I can clean this. And this is what the back of the plate looked like for this one. So given how nice the metal looks, I'm going to say that was never removed, and that was the original one. Whereas when you look at this, again, the difference, very dark, a little more rust, surface rust. And that one did not have this sticky film residue. So I'm guessing that had the cement and was attached. And again, with heat, came off great. 120 grit. Again, just awesome to see that. Warms my heart to see that. So soaking time. Busy, loud day in the neighborhood. So the night of soaking did good, but the acetone bath, shit ton of acetone bath, rubbing, scrubbing, and scraping, there was just an incredible amount of residue. In fact, a lot of the red stuff on this side was the cement. So now I'm going to put it back in the rust bath for another day, now that we're down to metal-ish, or at least got a lot of that shit off, and we'll see what soaking does for another day. Good evening, YouTubers. Reloading Bench back with you once again. And we are going to continue. As you can see, the bench is beyond messy. We're doing some revamping in the garage, or as people I know would say, the garage. And it's going to give me some more bench space, but right now things are in transition. So it's a mess. And I wanted to kind of close the loop on this particular project. And this was, making the Radial Arm Saw into a sanding disc. A novel idea. And after cleaning it and treating the metal, I thought, you know what, let's blue this. And my normal bluing process is with Birchwood KC Perma-Blue. This one's from last year, and I've been going through this like water. But this is a big surface, and when you do Birchwood KC with a little, for small things, it's great. For this larger surface, I was a little worried about, doing the cotton ball and getting streaks and unevenness. And the way you apply Perma-Blue is put it on, desired darkness, rinse with water. I'm going to give Brownell's, don't even know how to pronounce this, OXPHO-Blue a try. And the difference, this particular version of the OXPHO-Blue is a cream. At least it's supposed to be a cream. And I don't hear fluid, so maybe it is. Yep, it's the cream formula. And the idea behind this is directions to retouch old blue or to re-blue entire gun. May be advisable to remove excessive rust, blah, 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 blah. 2, dampen small cotton pad with OXPHO-Blue and rub area to be retouched until colored. Wipe dry with the damp wipe dry with clean. This is really tiny writing. Wipe dry with clean cloth and burnish bright with 0-aught or aught steel wool or finer. If deeper colors desired, repeat 2 and 3. So it sounds like all I got to do is rub this stuff on, as opposed to rubbing it on or putting it on and then stopping the bluing process for whatever. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glove up, because apparently it says corrosive, may cause severe skin burns, so we don't need that shit. And I think I'm out of cotton balls over there, so I will bust into my cotton balls. I can't have enough. What are these? Oh, shit's gonna go everywhere. Boonga boonga. Jumbo. What is jumbo about this? I think it's the same people making the jumbo cotton balls as making the fun size Halloween candy. Those dudes don't know shit. Fun size. Whoever said shrinking something would be fun? Not good. All right, so we're going to do a little acetone. Clean our surface here, because I have touched this with my grubby little hands more than a few times. And we don't need to mess up the bluing process any more than it will by itself. All right, so look at that. Always going to get cleaner. Always going to get cleaner. Ooh, catching a buzz from sniffing that. That's a lot of flash burning off there. Wow. There's my neighbors yelling. They are just not quiet people. Hopefully none of the blackness came off there. And I had a feeling this would be covered like this. That means my knife will now be blued, I'm guessing. Alright, so I have no idea how much of this stuff I should be using. I've never used this. Okay, I'll be using a lot more than that. So exactly what I was afraid would happen with the with the Casey is happening here, maybe because it's such a big area. But I'm not done yet, so we'll see how it goes. The fact that it is a cream, I guess, is good. Now apparently I have too much. My cotton cloth cloggeth up. So let's move to cotton cloth number 2. What's interesting is how the level of bluing. Like, what's up with that little spot? Why won't you blue? So I'm guessing that because, actually I don't know, I won't guess anything. All right. That one spot won't blue. And I've got some interesting color. It's like the Auroralis. What is it? The Northern Lights. You know what? You know what's going to happen if I don't put this top on? It is going to spill all over my bench. All right, so again, this is my first experience with OXPHO-Blue. This would have been a nightmare using the Birchwood KC because the whole, and I don't know if Birchwood KC comes in a cream. So I think that much was good. I don't know if I'm going through my cotton balls too fast or what. And I'm wearing gloves. And I don't know if I'm feeling a burn or if that's just a figment of my imagination because I'm paranoid. But the whole bluing is definitely interesting to say the least in terms of the colors I'm achieving. And again, I don't know what's happened to the metal over the years in terms of heat treatment or other. So I'm gonna go, because I didn't notice there's a cut in my glove, so maybe my burn is not my imagination. So I'm gonna go wash my hand. And be right back to prevent my burn. Back shortly. And back. So as I continue this bluing process, because I think we'll go another couple shades, I will babble about my current projects, none of which are reloading related. So you know I'm working on the bandsaw, finishing up the band, excuse me. I just tipped my hat to the latest of projects. So you know I'm working on finishing the table saw, the 50-year-old table saw. So that's 95% done. All I have left to do on that is the oak. After, well, you haven't seen this, but maybe by the time you hear this, you will have. You'll see the on and off switch I installed. So 1970 something meets 2022 in terms of an on and off switch. And then I have also, as I stated in that video, started the process for the oak covered rip fence. And then that saw awakened my childhood craftsman walking through Sears with my parents. Giant fantasy about owning all those cool tools. So now I'm on a Craftsman kick, and I have picked up a Craftsman 15-inch drill, which I refurbed. You saw the Radial Arm Saw, the Craftsman Radial Arm Saw that I essentially cleaned. I wouldn't call that a refurb. And I picked up a, let's see, I picked up a belt disc sander from '87. Then I picked up a grinder, 6-inch grinder with the most amazing, one more coat on that, with the most amazing stand. So robust. Where's my jumbo cotton balls? The most robust stand for the grinder that I'll probably swap out with the 10-inch Craftsman drill press I picked up. That was an amazing find. Beautiful condition, in the sense that it wasn't effed up. They effed it up a little bit because they had used in their shop spray paint, some type of blue spray paint. So the whole casing was covered in blue paint, which I guess was a good thing because it protected the undercoating black beneath it. So that came out just stunning. Okay, so that was, what did I say that was? That was the drill. And then I picked up, I just told you about the grinder. Beautiful grinder in great condition, just dirty. I love these people who buy shit, never use it. It collects dust in the garage, and then somebody gets a divorce and they don't want these tools around, or something happens, and then I come along. Okay, so that was the grinder. And then I found a beautiful bandsaw. Oh, 10-inch bandsaw. This thing is gorgeous. And had to drive for about an hour. Another Facebook Marketplace find. And again, these Facebook Marketplace people are just freaking weird. Some of them, they'll put stuff up for sale, and then you ask about it, and they're like, yeah, it's not available to see. I'm like, well, then why did you post it, 6 hours ago if it's not ready to see? If you don't want to sell it, don't post it. Simple. Stupid people. Anyway, the bandsaw person, and again, I get it. These people, it's just like Craigslist. You don't want people coming to your house. You don't know who these people are. You don't know if they're psychotic, psycho, sociopath, whatever. All right, so I'm going to say that's dunnage. And we're going to put that off to the corner. Get some more. Clean some hands. But the bandsaw was just gorgeous. It was dirty as shit. This particular bandsaw, I don't know if I'll do a segment on it because I've been doing the cleaning on the side. It was rusty, kind of like the table saw. And then once you got past the rust, that was just beautiful. In reasonably good condition. And I'm doing this just so that I get a feel for what the bluing looks like with a little bit of oil, CLP. Something I do for, it looks very rainbowish. Something I do when I blue with Birchwood Casey. So I'm going to say mixed results for the color. I don't know that I and again, I don't know that it would have turned out any better or different with the Birchwood Casey product than with this OXPHO. I mean, this stuff gets good reviews from people who have used it. I've read about it before. I've never done a large product like this. And again, the only reason I want to do this was to treat the metal a little better. So this is a long video of boring this. But that bandsaw is gorgeous. Oh my God, I just ordered a new belt for it. I'm sure I'll order a new blade at some point, but oh, it's just gorgeous. So between, let's see, the radial arm saw, the grinder, the drill press, the disc sander, and the bandsaw, Murphy's Law struck again. And as I was working on this, the camera shut off because the memory card was full, of course, which means I'm either babbling too much, as people have commented, but it's what I do, or I'm making too many videos, so maybe it's a combination of both. All right, so this is the finished product of using OXPHO-Blue, if I'm pronouncing that right, and I will say that I'm satisfied with how this came out. And I will also say that each one of these products has their strengths. And for small, like screws, nuts, and bolts, this just rocks. For, I would say, more intricate parts, larger parts that you need, more time to work with because it's a little bit different. There's no washing with this, whereas you need to stop the bluing process with cold water on the PermaBlue, as I've indicated. But so, without knowing, how well or not this would come out, I had a couple of other things, and I started each of these with PermaBlue, and PermaBlue wasn't doing anything. And these are pretty badly damaged, but the OXPHO-Blue did a nice job. And a really big difference was this piece. Well, this is the rip fence for the bandsaw. So I took this apart, shined things up, bead blasted. This was just full of rust. The whole part was just totally rust. So I soaked that overnight. Same thing with this. This was quite rusty. And the evapor rust will also take bluing off to a degree. And I tried to blue this piece. Where's a good way to look at it? That's a good view. I tried to blue this with the PermaBlue because it was small enough, and I thought, oh, nope, wasn't doing anything. And the OXPHO-Blue put a great, nice, turned it blue. Or I don't know why they call it bluing. I don't know why they don't call it blacking, because it's not really blue, it's black. But it got a nice black finish on this particular part. These two are plastic, and this just came out nice. I also did this part in the OXPHO-Blue and followed up with a little bit of 4/0 steel wool, and then obviously a little coating of CLP/oil to keep it from deteriorating. But I like how this came out. I'm satisfied with the color saturation of the bluing, for something that's been cold blued. Looks a lot better than it did in process, and it kind of gives it a second life. Now, the true test will be, I don't know that I'm going to use the spray or adhesive backed sandpapers. I've seen a guy who makes, and I think there's a couple companies too, that make a Velcro overlay. So you instead of sticking one sheet of adhesive sandpaper on and pulling that off and putting another one on and back and forth and back and forth, you put the Velcro, a 10-inch wheel of Velcro on, and then you do Velcro discs. So you're peeling, just like with your little orbital sanders. You just peel the little sandpaper off and put a new one on instantly, as opposed to dealing with the messy sanding and adhesive and peeling and resticking. So I think I might do that. Not sure. Or maybe one side I will pay homage and put a, either, I'm not sure what grit, an adhesive, and then on the other one I would do the Velcro loop, or the loop and latch, or whatever the generic term for Velcro is, because Velcro is a trademark. But yeah, I'm really happy. So I've added a new component to the reloading cabinet of dealing with bluing. So I'll call that a success. And there's another one I want to try. I think it's also by Brownell's, but I want to say it was in a brown container, and you have to heat the metal. So it's not really cold bluing, but heated as in, propane torch kind of thing. So, all right, that's enough babble for tonight. I'll put some stuff back together, and I think I'll start working on the grinder.